And my whole thing is I just want you to be happy and feel good.
The Kardashian sisters open up about their relationships on the series finale of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Hey guys, welcome to another shared news from home. Keeping Up with the Kardashians aired their very last episode, but we got some major insight on all the ladies and their current relationships. Before we jump into it, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Morgan Wright, joined today by Fiona Zering. Well, Fiona, we finally saw the last episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And something that I found very interesting is that we got a relationship update from all three of the sisters. I don't know if that's ever happened in one episode before where Chloe, Kim, and Courtney kind of give us this relationship update. I want to start with Courtney and Scott because we did see them in a sit down conversation, one that's kind of been building throughout the season, and they had discussed their relationship in depth. You know, Courtney was telling Scott that I have told you there are certain things that I need you to do. I need you to be consistent. You haven't held up your end of the bargain, but somehow she thinks that she's turning out to be the bad guy.
I'm not going to be made to feel guilty when the things that I've asked of you haven't been done.
Because all of her family members want her desperately to get back with Scott.
The thing is I just want you to be happy and feel good.
Yeah.
It's never out for anything else than that.
Do we really think that all Scott wants is for Courtney to be happy? Or do you think that deep down he really was desperate for them to get back together?
You know, I do think that he wants Courtney to be happy. I will give him that. I firmly think that when he says he wants her to be happy, he means it. But I definitely think that Scott does want to be back with Courtney. I feel like you can't even call them will they, won't they. I mean, I don't even know how to describe what journey they've been on for all of these years. And I feel like deep down, Scott definitely has, there's like a sadness to the fact that they've never gotten back together, that they've never been able to make it work. That being said, I don't think that he's doing everything in his power to set himself up for successfully getting back together with Courtney. I'm not going to comment on his current relationship that I don't understand. Some of these choices he still continues to make doesn't look like he's even ready yet. I mean, it's been so many years. When will he do what she wants, meet her where she is, and be ready for it? I don't know. Maybe he never will be, and that's okay. But I don't believe him when he says that all he needs to be happy is just Courtney's happiness. If that makes sense. I'm halfway there with Scott. What are your thoughts, Morgan?
Yeah, well, you brought up Scott's current relationship with Amelia, and I feel like we're all a little bit confused by it, right? And Courtney did say on the show, she didn't say anything about Amelia, but she said she wanted some consistency. What I think when she says that, what she didn't really get into the details just is, whether that be on his sobriety. I mean, I don't know if he's 100% sober right now, but maybe even staying single for an extended period of time. And his past relationships, let's face it, have been odd to all of us, dating 19-year-old girls, 20-year-old girls. I can't help but to think that Courtney maybe feels a little bit weird about it too. If you had to speculate, how do you think Courtney would feel about Scott's relationship with Amelia?
Honestly, I don't know Amelia, right? She might be the oldest soul. She might be so mature. Who knows? But if I were Courtney, right, I would think that it shows a level of immaturity that he is consistently going after girls who are significantly younger than him. Because, I mean, from the outside looking in, to me, it seems like he wants to feel young, right? He wants to feel 19 again, and he's not. And so, whether or not he and Amelia have a wonderful, equal partner relationship, that's not really my business, right? I don't know what's going on between the two of them. But if I were Courtney, it would be really hard to look at that and feel like you and Amelia are in the same phase of life. Let's just put it that way, right? Courtney is older. She's a mother. She's been raising kids for so many years now, right? Like, how can you look at the person you potentially would be getting back together with, who he's dated most recently, and think, okay, well, Amelia and I are on the same phase of life. We're on the same track right now. Scott must be ready to come on, to my journey with me. it doesn't make a strong case for him. You know, it's hard to, again, from the way outside, I don't want to bash any type of love. Love is love, love who you love. But it's hard to look at it without raising an eyebrow, I guess is how I'll put it.
Well, especially when he started with Sophia, which, you know, okay, one time you fall in love with a 19-year-old, with a 20-year-old when you are pushing 40. Okay, it happens, you know, and some people are in very happy, loving, long relationships. But the fact that the very next girl that he is now going to date after Sophia is again another 19-year-old, to me, you know, that's a pattern of not really wanting to live in reality. And when you put it this way, it makes it just so much worse that Amelia is closer to Mason's age, his oldest son, than she is to Scott, which just I know. I'm sorry. I don't want to bash them because like you said, you don't know, they could have this great connection, but it does just feel like Scott is dating women who he knows it's not going to be a long-term end game. We are going to have children together. We're going to grow old together. He's more looking for a fun time, which Courtney is past that phase in her life. She doesn't want to have a fun time anymore. She has 4 kids. You know, if she wanted to get married, she doesn't want to live this wild lifestyle. So that is the update on Courtney and Scott. Now we're going to see even more updates on them in the reunion trailer. For the very first time, we're going to see how Scott feels about Travis and Courtney. And based on what Scott said in the last episode, you know, I just want Courtney to be happy. I have a feeling that that is exactly what he's going to say in the reunion. But we've spoke about it before, Fiona. You could see all over his face that he does not want Courtney to be with Travis. He wants to be with Courtney. So can't wait for that. We want to give you an update also on Khloe and Tristan. Khloe decided to move to Boston. You know, during this season, Tristan Thompson got traded from the Cleveland Cavaliers to the Boston Celtics. Khloe was going through a lot of uncertainty with building her own home in LA. She said, you know, she didn't really have a home, which, I mean, did she really not have a home? I'm sure she had somewhere that she could live in LA. My issue with this, Fiona, is that we never heard Khloe come out and say, Tristan and I are back together. You know, it's been alluded the whole entire season. They're showing him a lot. They're showing their relationship. They're showing them look for UFOs or just strange things. So you're not going to come out and say that you're back together, but you're going to move to Boston to be with Tristan. What did you make of all of this?
You know, I think honestly what I made of it was I can't wait to watch the reunion. I think that Khloe has been keeping everything going on with Tristan very close to the vest because let's face it, what she has gone through in the headlines and the tabloids regarding their relationship and is honestly still going through, right? I mean, it has been such a roller coaster. I wanted to kill Tristan not too long ago, you guys. So like, I think that for her, she is just going with the mindset of the vaguer, the better. I'm going to let people into our lives so that they understand a little bit of what our relationship looks and feels like. But I think she was very careful not to define anything because that just answers some of the questions that not only we have, but the tabloids have, right? If you give them a concrete relationship status, then they get to speculate on that status. So I think for her, the goal here is to just let fans in to a certain degree, but on another level, keep what's going on between the two of them very private because I think she's just trying to protect herself. And in the world that is her life, cameras rolling, interest from fans, social media scrutiny, it's a really difficult thing to do. So I don't want to say she's not succeeding at it because of course it's like now we even have more questions. So did this really play out the way you hoped it would? But I do think she's doing what's best for her. So I just have to respect it and hope that at the reunion we maybe get some more answers.
Yeah, speaking of keeping things private, Kim, this whole entire season and her relationship demise with Kanye, we kind of knew what was going on now that we're watching it back, but she really wanted to keep things private. But as the season progressed, it was just impossible for Kim to ignore. And I feel like she knew she had to address it. So in this final episode, she addresses it even more, saying,
and then after turning 40 this year, I realized no, I don't want a husband that lives in a completely different state.
She thought, okay, well, I'll just be the wife whose husband lives in a different state. That seems to work best for us. I thought I wasn't lonely. I thought I would be okay. But now I've learned that that's not what I want. And I am lonely and I just want to be happy.
Am I just going to sit here and think, okay, my kids fulfill me and I'm good? And then I never thought I was lonely.
Does this conversation that she had with Chris, the one that we saw about her really saying, I thought that this would work out for me, but it doesn't, and I just want to be happy. Does it make you view the divorce differently than when it first came out in January that they were splitting up?
Yes and no. Here's the thing. When the news even first broke that they were going their separate ways, I feel like I honestly just kind of felt relieved for Kim, because I think that her and Kanye are just chasing completely different things, and they have been for some time. I've definitely talked about this before. I've been disappointed in some of the actions, Kanye's taken, and I absolutely am so sympathetic to all of the mental health struggles he's been going through behind the scenes. Of course, as fans, we don't fully have a complete picture of that, and we definitely don't deserve it, right? It's totally okay for that to be private. All of that being said, though, I think Kim deserves to be happy. Kim deserves to feel like she has a partner who's on the same page as her, who's in the same season of life, who wants to live in the same house. I mean, right? There are so many things where we feel like we know these people. I feel like connected to Kim, and I don't want that for her. I want her to feel like she has a husband who she gets to wake up to every day and feel happy in their relationship. So honestly, this conversation to me was really just affirming the fact that she's going after what she thinks she deserves. And that's all, as a fan, I really want for her. So it was definitely emotional. And I know she's hard on herself about the 3 marriages, but your life is your life. And I don't think just because you're 40, you're never too old to really fight for what you think you deserve in the world. So I think Kim Kardashian deserves everything and more. And I'm glad that she's going after it. What about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. And let's be honest, she's Kim Kardashian. Like, she will find love again. There are probably men lined up outside of her door already. Now, I'm sure she does have to be careful, a little bit guarded about who she lets into her life. But like I said, she's Kim Kardashian. I just feel like there's still hope out there for Kim and Khloe and Courtney, for that matter. I feel like they all are on just such good life paths right now. And although we did get a lot of answers in this final episode, there are still so many unanswered questions that we're going to see answered in the reunion. We have shared the teaser on our YouTube page. Andy asking Khloe what she thinks about Tristan cheating and whether or not Scott is okay with Courtney dating Travis, and just all the questions that we have right now that we want answered. We are going to get it in the reunion with Andy Cohen. It's 2 parts coming out next week. Well, you guys, that's all we have for you. Let us know in the comments. Do you want to see Courtney and Travis? Do you want to see Courtney and Scott? How do you think Kim handled going through a divorce on the show? And do you think Khloe should really be moving to Boston with Tristan? And are they officially together? I mean, I think we all know that they're officially together, but she will not come out and say it. Let us know in the comment section. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any future updates. Also, say hello to us on our social media pages. Our handles are on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you later. Bye.